Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Thomas. Welcome to the U.S. History Overview video. This video will also be used for Mrs. Force's students as well. She sets up the course just the same way that I do, and it will give you all the same key and crucial information that her course gives you. This overview video is intended to be a way for you to see how to use the U.S. History course. It will not go over everything in the course, but it will go over all major components and how to use it, including how to access. So let's start with how to access by going to your online school. When you see classes over here on the left-hand side menu, you will click there and you should see the History through 3A course selection that you can then click on, and that is the correct version of your course. You're going to see on the home page here that it has Welcome to U.S. History with Mrs. Thomas. That's for my course. Mrs. Force's might look slightly different for the banner, but she usually does something with the banner as well. So you'll notice that up here at the top, it still says History 303A, and you have the school year at the end here, so you know you are in fact in the right place. This is the course homepage. Now the course homepage, I'm going to walk you through what is usually available and seen here, but I'm going to go ahead and do this in student view so you can see a better representation of what you would have. So for example, here you would start with class updates if there was any teacher feedback from an assignment that you had written, or a note somewhere on any assignment that maybe you had to redo something or there was an explanation for your grade. You would see a class update notification here that would tell you where that was, and it would allow you to click on a link to access those. Usually for Mrs. Force and I, you will find feedback listed very clearly in the gradebook. You'll actually be able to see the feedback right next to where the grades are. So there will be notes within your gradebook as well. Next to each assignment, you'll end up seeing any comments that we have given. So that's what the feedback or class updates indicate, is feedback from your teacher. You will also see here, although you cannot see it here right now, you will see a mention of your progress in the course, how much of it you have been working on, what your percentage is currently, and then it will also let you know any overdue assignments. So once an assignment is overdue, it will show up here. You do not want to use the overdue notification that will be over here. You don't want to use that as your to-do list. If it's showing up as overdue, you're already in a bad position with that assignment. It already has a 0 in your gradebook, so you don't want to be waiting for things to pop up there to do them. That's not the correct way to work. We'll talk about how to use the gradebook in order to track your progress and use it there. The class plan is a very helpful way for you to be able to track what is coming up. We will make things visible in the class plan. As we go through the school year, you'll see important things come up. You can access the calendar to click on where things are to see what is due or what's coming up. So if I click on September 3rd, your first day of class, you'll see it says there are no events to display. But as we go on and we see the 5th, you have a first assignment due, or is opening, rather, is giving access and will be available. And you have other items here showing up on the 6th as things start to lock and are available for you throughout the day. So you're going to see indications by day of what is available, what's locking, what is due. All of those upcoming events will be available within the class plan. Over here, also very important, is the class announcements. You're going to see a number of things listed here. First of all, you might see a welcome from Mrs. Force and I here, a video to watch, and a hello. Mine has a picture of Forrest Gump waving excitedly. And then down here, the U.S. History disclaimer is just a reminder that some of the topics we're going to talk about in history are controversial. Sometimes they are very heavy in emotion. Some are very good topics and uplifting. Some are very difficult to process. So you definitely want to make sure that you're coming to class with the intent to respectfully talk about these subjects with each other. And it's basically a statement that no matter how difficult the topics might be in class, our discussions about them will have to be very focused and respectful. So I have that reminder there on the main page. You'll also see announcements. Now in the announcement area, you're going to see kind of like a calendar type setup for the week. You'll have each week listed the topics that we are covering along with any textbook pages that go along with those lessons and study guide references. So you'll have a study guide for most weeks. The study guide is not collected, but you'll be answering questions on the study guide as the week goes along to help you with your quiz at the end of the week. Usually we have a weekly quiz on Friday, and that's like our typical schedule. You'll also see a description or specific information about each day and or the assignments that are coming up on that day, whether something is opening, you should be working on it, whether something is locking, all those reminders will be there. Contact information is something that we have here in the beginning of the school year, but is in another place in the course. You're going to see like important weekly announcements or other comments, things coming up like half-day schedules and things like that on your announcements as well. It always lets you know what week the announcement is for and what the start date for the week is. And that is a great place to go to track what work you have. We are also going to have links to the assignments in these announcements too. So when you go to the announcements, you'll be able to click on them and establish, okay, I have to do this today. Let me click on it and it'll bring you right to that assignment. Okay. You'll notice that you can actually access your email. You could create a new message and contact your teachers from this main page as well. Moving on over to the content tab is where you're going to spend a lot of time in the course. If you click on the content tab, you're going to notice the table of contents here. Just above it, you're going to see bookmarks and course schedule. These are things that will allow you to find important things in the course. You can bookmark different portions to bring you right to an area that you need. The course schedule will let you know that if there's something coming up, very similar to the course plan on the course homepage, but it will also give you a full schedule of things that are happening and coming up. So here you can say, oh, on Friday, September 6th, we have the week 1 quiz. It's due on that Friday. You can see that there is also an end in availability, so it's going to lock that day as well. All those kinds of notifications are going to be available and ready for you there. Anything that is loaded into the course already and is visible to you in your plan, you'll be able to track that there. As you go into table of contents, you'll see for new students who are coming in after the first week of school, if they're coming in after like the first September 3rd, first week of official week of school, if they're enrolling later in the school year, they'll see a new student orientation area. This is specifically for them. You will not see this if you're not a later enrolled student. It's just a welcome area. It gives them some information on how to begin. It will have this course overview video posted here and a new student quiz for them to take. But that is not for students who are starting the school year on the actual first day of school, September 3rd. Course materials will have things like contact information for your teacher. For Mrs. Force, she will have her information here. The course syllabus is a place for you to find an introduction of your teacher. It will list out classroom expectations and give you the opportunity to see what kind of assignments we're going to have and how those assignments work, how they're graded, what the timeline is for expecting work returned. For the most part, expect that it would be up to 3 days, school days, for something to be graded. So please don't work on an assignment and expect that your teacher is going to get back to you right away on that. It's probably going to be a couple of days before they grade it and get that grade back to you, unless it's a computer graded item, and that will immediately be updated into the course. You're able to take each quiz a second time. Each quiz and checkpoint will have a second attempt with it, but that's only one retake. You have the initial attempt and one retake. We will have weekly quizzes, checkpoints that will help prepare you for those quizzes, and we will have quarter tests that will be completed and link it with a CR question that will come, constructive response question that will come at the end. Most of the checkpoints and quizzes are multiple choice based and will be computer graded. The teacher graded items are going to be things like the CR, the TDAs, text dependent analysis questions that we do throughout, and also discussion boards. You may have a discussion board every couple of weeks, etc. Lock dates and due dates. We will go over this in more detail in class, but due dates are going to be posted within your schedule. They'll be in the announcements and you'll be able to see those in the gradebook as well. Quizzes lock the day that they are due. So that is the quickest return on an assignment. You have to pay very close attention to that. All other assignments besides quizzes will lock on the second Sunday following their due date. Any missing work will receive a permanent 0 after the lock date. So make sure you're paying very close attention to this section. Course policies, more information on the course, including those grading and late policies we just reviewed, the history disclaimer we've already taken a look at, are all housed here as well. There is a separate STRIDE academic integrity statement, but we have one from the Agora handbook as well. So if you click on the Agora student parent handbook, you can go see the academic dishonesty page there. Make sure that your work is your own. You should not be copying from another person or taking wording from another source without giving credit. Things like AI can be used as a resource, but we will be going over in classes how to use that appropriately. Anything that is put forth without quotations or is not actively paraphrased or attempted to be changed to be put into your wording will be considered plagiarism. This really is, assignments that are supposed to be in your wording for us to see if you know what you're talking about, if you know and understand the information. Anything that doesn't give us your thoughts and ideas and give credit clearly and succinctly could be considered plagiarism. So be very, very careful of that. We will talk about that more throughout the year. The how-to area is going to give you a place for the Engagely how-to user guide for students. Anything and everything Engagely will be housed here in this link. You can go to the guide and use that. The history overview video you're watching right now will be housed in here as well as directions to use Linkit, to sign up for course notifications if you want emails coming your way for anything coming up like due dates, overdue work, things like that. How to monitor your progress in the class. There are links and documents here to show you how to track your progress using the gradebook and how to smartly make sure that you're staying on top of your work. How to check incorrect answers on a quiz will be housed here too. These are directions to see what you got right or wrong and how you can prepare before you take a second attempt. There are some additional how-to documents here. Be sure to check these all out as they could be helpful to you. The writing resources right under the how-to is going to give you a proofreading checklist, graphic organizers for writing, informative graphic organizers for writing, and the rubric that we're going to be using for TDAs and CRs. The online textbook is here too. It's called the American Odyssey. It is only an online version. There's no physical version of the textbook. So you can access that here, and we'll give page references throughout the course. The Unit 1 folder here is an example of how we will set up the course. It'll be set up as units, and Unit 1 will be here. You'll notice that when Unit 2 is created, it'll be right above. In Unit 1, you will usually see an announcement pop up here along with an image. You'll also have the announcements in the top portion of the modules here. Okay, so the announcements are in this first module. When you click on this, you'll be able to click here and see the announcements right there that you saw on the main page. Same thing with live session slides. Anything that we go over in class, the live session slides will be saved and posted here in PDF version, so you can view those. They will not be finished with annotated notes the way they will be in Engagely during class, so you have to be aware of that. All assignments can be found in the assignments module, and study materials such as study guides are found in study material. The last part that I want to go over that is very important is your gradebook, which can be used to track your progress. It's set up by unit. You can see the points over here. Each item is listed with an icon indicating what kind of assignment it is, with the due dates and a link to that assignment in the course, as well as lock dates.